Nigeria. My name is King Kamsi, and usually I'll do this with Chuks, but today I'm riding solo. We're taking it by hours right now, not even by days or weeks anymore. It's exactly 1 day and a few hours to the presidential election, which is coming up on February 25th. That's this Saturday. A lot of Nigerians are going to be out to exercise their franchise and, of course, tell the nation or tell the ballots who they have chosen to be their president. And with all, we're looking at what has been happening on social media recently and even on the streets. A lot of people have decided to rally around our principal, which is Peter Obi, and they've taken his mandate, or they're standing on his mandate right now, because he is the one that is definitely going to become the president, and he's going to give us back our country, and so we can take our country and make better use of this country. Lots have been happening. I won't want to go into all of the stories that's been happening from the scarcity of cash and what it has been doing in a lot of places, and how vandalism has become the order of the day to a lot of Nigerians. I'm using this as a point of information to reach out to Nigerians. Please desist from such acts of vandalism. If you're one of those who are already in the acts of vandalization, be it at petrol stations or at the money deposit banks or wherever you are at this time, please, orderliness is much better than all of the vandalism and anger that a lot of Nigerians are exhibiting at this time. Please, we know it's a very difficult time, but we're using this opportunity to say, please stay forth. And on Saturday, definitely, we're going to be able to take our voices to our polling units, and definitely the ballots will come out in a very victorious language, like we expect. Today, I said I'll be riding solo, but I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I won't be riding solo exactly. I have a wonderful guest who's going to be joining me, who rather has joined me already on the show today. He's one who's going to be sharing lots of wonderful knowledge with us today as respect to the topic that we're going to be discussing today. We've noticed that since the elections have begun, and not even in this electoral season, even way before this electoral season, almost even democracy, throughout the time of democracy, we've seen lots of Nigerians take sentiment of tribalism and religion to the polls, and always making sure that they vote people of their exact tribe or people of their exact religion, and not even minding if the person is competent to take up that position, health-wise or even capacity-wise, and sometimes even psychologically. It's the case where we see people just want to move towards a particular direction because this person has some sort of affiliation with them in terms of religion or ethnicity, and at this time we've preached boldly against it. But maybe we've not emphasized enough about that right here on Obidati Family Television, and that's the reason I asked my wonderful guest to join me today as we discuss this topic. And the topic is tribalism in Nigeria. One of the factors that has made Nigeria's division to keep getting wider and wider, because I remember there's been a lot of conversation about unity in diversity in Nigeria, but in this case right now we're seeing more of division in our diversity than unity in our diversity, and hence the reason this topic today was selected, so we could discuss clearly into it. Today I have a senior lecturer from Nnamdi Azikiwe University in Awka joining me right here in the studio, Dr. Oluwaseyi Taiwo. He's going to be taking our time to join me in this discussion today as we throw more light onto what tribalism has done to our country and why we shouldn't be tribalistic about this polls on the 25th of February, which is this Saturday. You're welcome, Dr. Taiwo.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio this morning. Nice. It's actually beautiful to have you in the studio. Yeah. Okay, but let's move straight into the discussion.
All right.
I've noticed that you are a wonderful supporter of Peter Obi. Before we even get into the discussion, why have you decided to support Mr. Peter Obi?
Well, I believe by now so many things have been said about the personality of Mr. Peter Obi, and it's just easy to choose among the list of options available this time around, and also considering the present situation of the country, we know that we can't continue to have the same thing. We can't continue to play the same card. We can't continue to have a country being led by people of questionable character. So Mr. Peter Obi offers us a new atmosphere. He's offering us a new personality. He's offering us a new characteristic feature that you can really desire in this in a leader. Okay, so Mr. Peter Obi comes to us. He appears to be somebody who has been, I'm a Christian, and you permit me to bring in my religion ideology into this. You know, he appears to be divinely prepared for this our time. Whether we like it or not, history has told us that there are, some people might call it chances, some people might call it, they might name it differences, but definitely this time around, Mr. Peter Obi is prepared for the task ahead, because we don't want Nigeria to continue to be the way it is. So his competence, his character, his integrity, the fact that he actually relates with people, okay, very well. I mean, he brings himself down, his simplicity, his financial management. What do you want? I mean, he just comes along, I mean, to us, to me personally, as somebody who tick all the boxes that will want the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria
to look like. Okay, but you know, you already mentioned a lot of things, but I want us to now move straight to the discussion of today. You know, we've seen year after year, time after time, everybody wants to, you know, vote people from a particular tribe. Despite looking at the polls, and we've seen people who even make statements like, yes, Peter Obi is good, or Peter Obi is the best, but he does not, you know, he does not belong to my tribe, or he does not, you know, belong to my faith. How is he going to be able to protect the interests of my people and all of that? Because everybody says that politics is a game of interest. So people like that, how do you respond to them?
Yes, I know surely that human beings, or man, let me use that, man is, we are social animals, and then we have natural inclination to actually prefer on basis of either tribe, religion, race, or what have you. Okay, we have that tendency to prefer choices. Okay, it might be in terms of leadership as we're having it now or not, but there comes a time when we need to put those things aside and then look at who can actually fix this problem that we are having, who can bring the solution to the world. I know that people generally, yes, they will say Mr. Peter Obi is a good person, is the best, but to such people, you know, what they're saying in essence is that they have series of drugs to cure a particular ailment. And then the doctor actually made them to understand that this particular drug can cure this thing perfectly, but this one you'll still be managing, though the symptoms will still be coming, but you know, you'll be managing it, and then, you know, this one, it won't cure, it will rather make the ailment to degenerate more. So, and then the person is saying, no, I don't want this one that will really take this ailment totally away. I would rather prefer either the one that will just be managing, I will still be seeing the pains, the sickness, I mean, the pains, I'll be having the pains, I'll be seeing the symptoms. So basically, nobody will know wants the best. Those people who do that, they are actually suffering from what we are discussing now. That is tribalism, okay? So what I will say is that they are not being sincere with their lives, or maybe because they are getting something that really benefits them, okay? Somehow personally. So, but I will, at this point, actually plead with people who are listening to us that if you sincerely really want the country to be better, I think it's high time as a good citizen of Nigeria to come out from that sentiment. If Mr. Peter Obi is a Muslim, I would have supported him as a Christian, because if he ticks the box, that is not what will form the basis of good governance. If he was an unbeliever, maybe an atheist or something, I would have gone for him, because he will give us what we want. But well, incidentally or coincidentally, he is a Christian, and fine, and he has a dati as a Muslim, and we are good to go. So I feel that we should actually put tribalism aside. We should put the fact that, oh, he's a good person or he's the best, but I will go for my. We should put that aside and look forward to a better Nigeria.
Yes, better Nigeria is the conversation that everybody's having right now. But we also want to look at, we've seen on social media cases where people who are from, you know, the Yoruba region, like yourself, coming on social media to declare support for Mr. Peter Obi, and people shut them down, calling them betrayers of their tribe, and not. I've seen some cases where people even go as much as using very degrading, vulgar words on them, claiming that they are not original children of their parents, and, you know, very other, you know, messy things that we see on social media. But how do you respond to that, and how do you salvage that situation?
Yes, well, those people who do that, like I said earlier on, they might just be, they are not being sincere. They are benefiting, and they are not sincere with this situation. And yes, they call people who are supporting Peter Obi in some quarters in the southwest bastards, Omali. That's the Yoruba word for bastards. They call them bastards. But we don't care. We don't care. So far, God can help us to ensure victory for Mr. Peter Obi. And then we can only plead with them to also reason with us. To also at least put away sentiment and know that this time is about Nigeria. And incidentally, the person they are supporting, or they are trying to, campaigning for, or trying to make sure he gets elected into the office of the president, he has not really taken the matters of the Yorubas at heart. He has not really. There are no serious evidences to show that he's been there for you. So why will you now come around this time and say you want to ensure he comes in? What has he done for the Yoruba race? So that's the question. So I'm imploring them to let us join hands, and then within these few hours, less than 48 hours, to let us vote for Mr. Peter Obi, because he is the best choice among the contestants at this present time.
Okay, now taking away from people who have constantly, you know, preached the message of, you know, other opposition candidates. You know, we've seen, and people who come with the question of lack of experience for Peter Obi. People claim that we've seen other candidates mastermind the elections way before Peter Obi came in, and I've even seen you know, a particular candidate describe Peter Obi as a greenhorn, while he was trying to also preach a message of tribalism in the north. That's the PDP candidate, saying that Peter Obi is not fit because he's a greenhorn, and he's not even he's not from a particular part of Nigeria. What would you say about that situation?
You know, the political class have always have their way of manipulating the citizens or the electorate. They have their way of whipping up sentiment, either on religious basis, psychological basis, ethnic basis, and this is just part of it. How will you say somebody who has successfully governed a state for 2 consecutive terms, how will you call him a greenhorn? Even if he is a greenhorn, he has been able to display some features, some characters that we want as the electorate, that we want to be in the person that will be our leader. So Mr. Peter Obi has been successful in business. He has been successful in governance, in public service. So what else is needed? And the political class need to start understanding this, that we, the citizens, are waking up. We are waking up. We don't want people who have... It's still this same political class that have brought the country to this point. So we want the country to move forward. We want to try something else. Mr. Peter Obi, to me, is not a greenhorn. If you call somebody a godfather or a political godfather, like one of the contestants in one of the paramount contestants is a godfather, but that doesn't... What we want is a leader. We don't want somebody who has been in politics for years. We just want somebody who will be able to handle the country and then take us to a better land. That is what we want.
There are definitely lots of Nigerians are looking and are watching. It's few days to the election, we've seen cases where people oppress people. Take example what happened in Lagos State during the Labour Party rally over there, where we saw people from the Yoruba tribe there in Lagos who are supporters of the candidate who is Yoruba, because we have candidates from the three major tribes in Nigeria, that's the Hausa, Yoruba and Igbo contesting. And we saw people who are supporters of the Yoruba candidates there in Lagos when the Labour Party had their rally, harass people and beat people up just because they are not supporters of a particular candidate. How do we react to that? Is that not a problem in disguise?
Yes.
Is that not an atomic bomb waiting to blow up?
Yes. You know, this kind of situation is actually expected. In fact, I think we still were lucky that we don't have a worse situation than what was experienced. So it's only the government and the security officials that can actually rescue us, because everybody has a right to vote, to identify with any political party. We as a citizen have a right for political rally. So we have a right that must be protected by the security officials. So, and then, well, so far, well, the president, President Muhammad Buhari, has said that he will ensure that everybody casts their votes, that nobody will be harassed and all of that. So, well, we'll wait to see what will happen on the election day, and even on the eve of the election day, and even after the election day. Okay.
Okay, you guys, it's still Possible Nigeria right here on Obidati Family Television. And then we're discussing matters arising in terms of tribalism and what he has done so much in terms of dividing Nigeria. Today we're seeing a lot of people clamoring for division of the country. And some people claim that already they have been pushed aside in terms of the ruling and handling of affairs in the country. And other people claim that it is their turn to rule Nigeria, and they even came up with a slogan, Emilokon. But there's still a whole lot to discuss right here, as arising issues are also being put into perspective while we discuss. So please keep it right here. Let's go on a quick break, and when we get right back, we'll continue discussion. I'm still here with Dr. Taiwo Oluwaseyi, who is a senior lecturer in the Faculty of Engineering of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka. Please stay with us.
To be Labour Party, Labour Party, to be Labour Party, to be Labour Party, LP, can you get a vote? To be Labour Party, Labour Party, LP, can you get a vote? To be Labour Party, Labour Party, never say, Mama, Papa, no, to be Labour Party, Mama, Papa, no, Mama, Papa, now to be Labour Party. Mama, Papa, now to be Labour Party.
Mr. Peter Obi's administration built from scratch Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University Teaching Hospital with 25 building structures. His government funded transformation of massive infrastructural development, accreditation of 12 health institutions and 2 hospitals, and also built 10 maternal and childcare centers across the state. He is the first governor to purchase medical equipment worth over 135 million naira and 50 ambulances for the health sector in Anambra State, which remain functional till today. He built and equipped Dr. Jonwilo Heart Center in St. Joseph Hospital, Adazi-Nnukwu, where heart operations are performed. Anambra State is the first state in...
Okay, you're welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Possible Nigeria right here on Obidati Family Television. And yes, we're discussing matters as to tribalism in Nigeria and what it has done to our national cohesion, and how a lot of people are now clamoring for a division instead of looking forward to the election. But quickly, Dr. Taiwo, I want us to look at what is happening right now. We've seen lots and lots of people. We've said the Arewa, we've seen the IPOB, and a lot of other people who have come out constantly to speak about division of Nigeria because they feel they have been neglected of some sort. If you were to speak to people like this concerning this election, what would you say to them?
Well, we just want to tell them at this point in time that Mr. Peter Obi is a unifier, okay, and then they feeling they are neglected. I feel that what should be the concern of everybody at this point in time is, okay, how can the bond that once exists across the various regions in the country, how can it be resuscitated? Because definitely during the present administration, there have been division along regional lines. So, and then we want it to be resuscitated. So we, at this point in time, we are actually open on Mr. Peter Obi to resuscitate that.
Okay, resuscitation is one of the parts of the promises that Mr. Peter Obi has enshrined even in his manifesto that was titled "A Pact with Nigerians." Nigerians are looking forward to Saturday, and the elections are coming faster than we can even imagine. And just the other day, I could remember we speaking about the election being 20 days, the day being 20 days to election. But right now, we're speaking a day and few hours to the election. So right now, we're taking this as an opportunity to charge out to Nigerians, whatever tribe you're from, as long as you identify as a Nigerian, whether you're Igbo, you're Hausa, you're Yoruba, Shekiri, Ijaw, Bini, whatever part of the country you're from. This is time to take up the mantle and go to the polls on Saturday and make sure that you put your index finger, not your thumb, your index finger where it should be, and that is on the Labour Party logo, just like you can see on the screen right now. Vote for Labour Party, vote for LP, because that's Peter Obi's party, and definitely that's the party that's going to take us to where we want to be as a nation. So thank you so much, Dr. Taiwo, for joining me. It's amazing having you and speak about, I'm from the Igbo part of Nigeria. You're from the Yoruba part of Nigeria. And one of my directors behind the screen is also outside. So you can see even around here we manage the national cohesion.
And that's what Mr. Peter Obi stands for.
Yes, exactly. So he's not a tribal bigot, and definitely we're looking to see that Nigeria becomes one as it should be, and all our agitations and clamors will be listened to as soon as Mr. Peter Obi gets into office, and definitely that's going to happen this Saturday. So thank you so much, Dr. Taiwo.
Nice meeting you.
And thank you so much for staying up to this time watching. Please, if you've gotten to this point, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It is Obi Dati Family Television. And you can also hit us up on WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number is right there on the screen. You can reach out to us, and even while the election is going on, make this your situation room. Anything happening around you, you can send it to us, and definitely we'll let the world know from our channel that that is what's happening in that area. And surely these efforts will not be in vain. Thank you so much.